Hello my loves, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Do we remember me? Hi! I still do budgeting and personal finance videos. It's been a hot minute. I, for obvious reasons, didn't do a March reset, so I missed a month. I'm being so dramatic, but I missed a month, which is basically like 2 months between resets, so it feels like it's been forever. I'm so excited for today. I've been looking forward to this video for the last couple of weeks. I just feel like I need a good reset, good budget check-in. We're gonna set a couple goals. I am freshly postpartum. Firstly, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I so abruptly just got in straight into the video, straight to business. I am on limited time, obviously. Naturally, having a newborn baby, I've got to, take this little pocket of time that I do have while he's asleep and film this. So time is of the essence. We're going to try and keep this short and sweet. But if you are new here, welcome. My name's Ella. I am 29. I live in Adelaide, South Australia with my husband and our newborn baby. His name's Charlie. I just turned 6 weeks postpartum. I actually just had my 6-week doctor's appointment. Officially cleared to exercise, which is exciting. So I'm excited to ease back into it and yeah, just start feeling a little bit more like myself. I've actually had a really positive postpartum experience. A lot of that I can accredit to my husband and him being so supportive, and also just having a generally easy pregnancy, easy recovery, easy baby. I've been very, very lucky, which has made my postpartum recovery really good. Mentally, I feel probably the best I've maybe felt in years. Having a baby is such a wild change, and there's definitely been moments, but I otherwise feel like I'm just living my absolute best life. And I think waiting so long, I'm enjoying this stage so much. It's something I've yearned for so long. Obviously, you guys know our history with miscarriage and trying to conceive. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just soaking it all in, and it's just been so special. Not without its challenges. I don't want to sugarcoat it. This is easily one of the hardest things I've ever done, but also the most rewarding thing. And especially now he's starting to kind of come to life. He's been a bit of a potato for the last 6 weeks, to be honest. It's crazy because this is the time you give so much to your baby and they give you nothing back. And then suddenly it's overnight almost he's come to life, and he's starting to give us little smiles and coo, and he's just making all these new sounds that I've never heard come out of him, and he's just so much more aware. He literally is looking into my soul now. It's crazy. And I know with time there's going to be even more exciting milestones to look forward to. But yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it. Yeah, feeling really lucky, feeling so blessed in this season, and excited to get back to it. Excited to start easing into it. April, I'm getting back into work, start making some money again, which it's interesting. Social media is one of those things. I talked about this in one of my short form videos on Instagram and TikTok, but over the years I've been able to establish certain income streams that make passive income in the background. It's not to say if I completely dropped off and left the internet that I would make those forever, but just while I'm having a bit of time off and while I took those 6 weeks to enjoy this newborn bubble, they've been working in the background, and I've been able to make some sort of income. Also with brand deals, a lot of them are paid out 30, 60, 90 days after the content's gone live. So I've received some payments in the last month as well for that. I think the real, not test, but the real reflection of me taking time away from social media will reflect in the next couple of months, to be honest. February also happened to not only be the month that I welcomed my beautiful baby boy into the world, absolute highlight of my life, but also happened to be my biggest month on social media ever. So I feel like such a girl boss. Had a baby, had my highest earning month ever. So that was super cool. That has been really, really helpful with helping substitute that income and just kind of carrying it over into the next few months. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into it. If you're new here, I do these videos every single month. I go over my budget, what we spent, what we saved, how much we made, and then we set up a new budget for the new month. I also do the same with my goals. I like to goal set in these videos as well, and a lot of it links back to my spending and my finances. I feel like there's a really big crossroad between your life and your goals and ambitions and your personal finances. I love doing these videos because they hold me accountable, and even though my income has dramatically changed over the years, if you go back and watch any of my old resets, my income was not what it is now. And so even though every month's different, my income overall has exponentially increased. It's really nice to have these videos to hold me accountable and check in on myself, make sure that I'm not giving into lifestyle creep, because as much as I love doing social media and as cool as it is that this is how I make income and this is how I pay my bills, I know it's not forever. I'm so realistic about that, probably a little too realistic. I'm yes, this could end tomorrow, and it could, especially with the current climate and the way of the world. It's kind of scary. I mean, no job is completely secure. I learned that the hard way. I've had multiple job losses in the past. So I know there's no such thing as foolproof security, but it can definitely be a volatile industry. And whilst I don't know when this is going to end, I know there is an expiry date on doing social media at a full-time capacity. I think I'll always do it forever as a hobby because I just love it so much. but actually being able to sustain it and keep this my full-time thing. I don't know how long it's gonna last. So doing these videos and actually budgeting and making sure my money has a purpose and I'm keeping track of every single dollar, what I spend, what I save, what I invest, and just like really setting myself and my family up for a good financial future. If I can put in the hard yards now while I'm making good money and put that money aside, that is going to be so helpful in the future. So that's really my purpose. I've really, really tried my best to keep our lifestyle very similar to what it was before and not give into that lifestyle creep. It's so easy. I mean, this last month, that's a different story, but we were on maternity leave. What's a girl to do? I've realized the more time I have, the more time I have to spend. It's a good thing that I'm getting back into work in April because girl needs to stop spending money. Also just like having a baby and like needing to get out the house, that's been the biggest thing, honestly. And I'll get more into this when we go over our budget, but I need to, and this is coming from somebody that used to be a homebody pre-pregnancy or pre-baby, even like during pregnancy. I could have happily not left the house, but I used to be such a homebody. And then since having a baby, I need to get out. I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel so much, even if it's just walk around the block, get a coffee, whatever. I just need something to like feel a little bit more human and like myself. I never saw that for myself. So that's been a big personal development. Anyway, we are on borrowed time, so let's get into this. Oh, should we start off with our goals? I don't have any goals to reflect on because I didn't set any for February. Obviously, my biggest and only goal was to have a baby and we did that successfully. So yay. I have some daily habits that I've set for April. I'll pop them up on the screen here in case you're curious. The goal and habit tracker I use is from Code Plenty, which you can bundle with the budget spreadsheet I use as well. I always have that link down below with my discount code. As for my goals, for personal goals, I want to do one baby activity this month. I was waiting for Charlie to be vaccinated and now he is. We can start going out and like really socializing. I mean, he has been social. We have seen a lot of people, vaccinated people, of course. We've been to a couple weddings, but obviously, you know, you have to be careful. But like baby activities, I've been looking forward to this. I really want to do like baby rhyme time or something like that. That just sounds like a bit me. Meet people, meet other mothers. I think that'll be really fun. I also want to scrapbook this month, whether that's my scrapbook or doing Charlie's. Just having a bit of me time. I love scrapbooking. I find it so relaxing. And it's not like I have a ton of time, obviously, having a baby, and I do have to prioritize my time, but I don't want to get sucked into just being a mum and then with any of my free time just doing work. Like I want to have that balance. Otherwise I feel like I'll get burnt out really fast. So taking time for myself. Also want to organize baby clothes. Nick, I mean, he is a little mini Nick. Charlie has officially gone from 4-0 to 3-0. So I need to sort through his clothes and start putting stuff away, which is crazy already. Yeah, just stay on top of that because I feel like that's something that could really get away from me. And I would also love to read 2 books this month. I just have one goal for wellness, which is to try and do Pilates 3 times a week. So this is one of my daily habits. It's not a daily habit, but like I can track the days that I have done it in my habit tracker. I would love to average 3 times throughout the week just to ease back into it. Really starting off very gentle. We invested in a reformer Pilates machine so we can do Pilates from home. Nick's been using it for the last few months. I've been looking at him enviously. And now's my time to shine and I can finally put it to use. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And they have a bunch of virtual classes. I think they specifically have like postpartum classes as well, which is really cool. And then like easing back into beginner, really taking it easy, just working on core strength, building back up those muscles. I haven't done Pilates in ages. For financial goals, we just have 2. I want to invest $500 and donate, keeping it really simple this month, as I said. And then career goals, just upload weekly and post 14 times this month on Instagram and TikTok. Like that's quite achievable across the month. And then I have one home goal, which is to declutter our junk drawer. This is the one thing that we didn't get to before Charlie was born. And so I'd love to do that. It's just absolutely doing my head in. I feel like there's stuff in there that's actually quite important. Also, I want to file stuff away. Now that I'm a mother, I feel like I should have a filing cabinet. Does anyone else feel that way? There's just so much paperwork. No one talks about it. There's so much paperwork that comes with having a child. I need somewhere to put it and I need it to be orderly. I don't know why it's taken having a baby for me to do this. We own a home, we have dogs, we're married, like we have important documents in this house and not a very clear system. Like I actually couldn't tell you where my birth certificate is, where my marriage certificate is. Like it's somewhere in a very safe spot, but I don't know where that safe spot is. I feel like I have multiple safe spots throughout the house and I'm like, where are you? So I'd love to do something about that, get all my ducks in a row. I feel like that's a thing a mother should do. Again, I feel like it's one of those things, if I don't do it now, it's gonna get away from me and then it will be like 5 years down the track and I'll be like, your birth certificate, Charlie? Actually couldn't tell you. Don't know where it is. Sorry, love. Yeah, I need to get onto that. I'll add that to my list. All right, cool beans. God, I haven't said cool beans since I was like 12 years old. What is wrong with me? It's the sleep deprivation, guys. It's getting to me. I'm probably gonna say some really out of pocket stuff because I I'm running on pure vibes right now. Anyway, should we go through our budget? I didn't really set one for March, so this will probably be quite short and sweet. I did track every single dollar though, so we have some reflecting to do. I just didn't go into the month with a set budget. I just knew that it was going to be one of those months. Both of us were on leave, we were freshly postpartum, like it was just a month of survival. And I knew with the month I had in February, income-wise, like we had more than enough to cover our expenses and for us to have a bit of a blowout month. And that is such a privilege, I recognize. Not everyone's journey is like that, especially having a new baby and having to take maternity leave. Income-wise, in March, Nick made $3,744.93. That was some residual income from the 2 weeks that he worked before he went on leave. At his new job, he gets paid monthly, so that'll be something to get used to. I'm actually not sure. I think they get paid mid-month as far as I'm aware. We still don't know what his actual paycheck will be after everything's taken out. We've decided to do the company shares, obviously being paid monthly, what the taxes will look like with that, and yeah, just like how that will look. It's been hard to predict because he's only worked 2 weeks, and then even the paycheck he gets in April won't be for a full month's work because he's only just started back, so it's a bit confusing. Anyway, I expected to make $3,500. I ended up making $8,582, which is a really nice welcome surprise. That's after taxes, deductions, GST, business expenses, all of that. Just to give you an idea, I'll pull up my business tracker because I use the exact same spreadsheet, but just from the business end. I also have an accountant who like takes care of everything for me, but this is just for my own personal tracking. YouTube is one of my passive income sources, so I generate income from videos. I went into greater detail in my how much I made from YouTube video, which I recently uploaded. Was that like last week or the week before? About like RPM, getting paid per view. And that's not to say that I would forever make $1,400 if I wasn't actively uploading. Like YouTube just wouldn't push out my content, but having taken a few weeks off, that was how much I made from not actively uploading, just from previous uploads, which was nice. And then my other passive income source is affiliates. So I made $5,561.98 this month, or this past month, should I say. It would have been money I made in February that was paid out in March. It's always paid a month after. And affiliates is either like a discount code or a link that I have that I can share with my audience. Not all of them, but a lot of the time you'll get a small commission, and yeah, that is that. It's like a nice little income source that I've tapped into in recent years. I never used to, but I mean, if I'm using a product and I'm already linking it, like I may as well get something for it for referring people. A lot of these affiliates, I would say like 9 times out of 10 are ones that have just happened organically. So I'll start using a product, maybe tag a brand or start using a service, whatever it might be, and then they'll reach out and give me an affiliate code or an affiliate link. And that's how I generate that income. Again, passive in that I don't have to like actively push it. It's just linked to my bio or like from previous uploads. That's a nice little income source. And then I was expecting to make $2,000 from brand deals. I ended up getting paid out $10,033. Most of that was from a single brand deal that I did across multiple months. It just happened to be paid out in March. So my total business income was $17,074. But of course I've got to factor in taxes, any business expenses. I don't really have many for March, just my accountant, which is $279, and my super, because I work for myself, I'm self-employed, I have to pay into my own retirement fund. So of that, I've put aside like $6,000 for taxes, $2,500 for my super, and then the rest I've just paid out to myself, which comes to that $8,582. Very important that you set aside money for taxes and set aside money for retirement. Because it's not mandatory, it's so hard to motivate yourself to want to do it. It's so important though. I know when you're self-employed, like every single dollar counts. It's easy to want to squirrel that money away as a little buffer, but it is really important to set yourself up for retirement and think about future Ella. So I've gotten better about that in recent years. In terms of our spending, bills were, you know, pretty much as per normal. The only one that really changes is our electricity bill. That's now monthly. So that was $284.91, which is quite hefty. But as we know, we typically spend a lot more in the summer months with keeping the aircon going. We've had a very hot last couple of months, so it's to be expected. Subscriptions, again, pretty standard. We had a couple of annual subscriptions come out. Being freshly postpartum, I decided to subscribe to a bunch of different baby like milestone tracking apps. Most of them I've cancelled, but there is one that I'll keep, which is Huckleberry. I might sign up for the premium, I don't know, but I really like that one. That's been my favorite so far, Huckleberry. Tracking all the feedings, sleep, those are pretty much the only things that we track. But you can track all sorts on there. Nappies, if you're pumping. I just find it really helpful to track what side I fed on. So then next time I know to like alternate. That's been really helpful. And then just like, yeah, getting an overview, insight. I think after 2 months, it gives you an insight into their sleep and their different wake windows. It's not something I'll use forever. I think just like these first few months while we're figuring it out, and obviously still paying attention to baby's cues, but that's been really helpful so far. In terms of our general expenses, as I said, I didn't set a budget for March, so there's a lot of red, quite alarming. Never fear. I'll quickly run through these and talk through some of our spending. So groceries, we spent $779. That's pretty on par with what we typically spend, usually about $750, $800. We did spend $275 on am I okay? Petrol. More than usual, definitely more than usual. That is more than we would typically spend, but are we surprised with the current state of the world? No. Definitely something that we're gonna have to factor into the budget, although Nick is back at work and he's using public transport to and from the office mostly. Transport, we spent $65. That was for public transport. Home, $22. We spent $936.17 on Charlie. $250, that was for his 2-week doctor's appointment. And then the rest was just like on miscellaneous things that we've kind of picked up. I'm gonna do a whole baby essentials, baby budgeting video, what we spent on baby, things that I'd recommend. It adds up quickly. I've also been buying a lot of clothes because he's now out of his newborn clothes, and that's something that we didn't really buy in pregnancy. We just wanted to wait and see how big he was. Health, I spent $124. Pets was a big spend this month. Poor Mabel has been through it, and that is not the end of it. Unfortunately, we actually have a specialist appointment with like a specialist vet. I didn't even know that was a thing. Those ear problems are also affecting her behavior. It's like a whole thing. Poor girl. And that is why we have pet insurance, because without pet insurance, this would be a lot higher. Cleaners, we spent $300. That's typical. We spent $863.51 on eating out. It's probably comes no surprise if you follow me on Instagram. I'm posting a lot of food, coffee, all the things while we've been on leave. That's kind of been our go-to activity, is like going out for lunch or breakfast, stopping and getting our coffee somewhere. It's a bad habit, but now we're back to work. That should slow down. We spent $1,059 on gifts. We had a wedding this month. It's also Nick's 30th birthday. I'm doing 30 gifts for 30 years. Am I saying it right? Yeah, 30 gifts for 30 years across 30 days. So for the month of April, he's opening a present every single day, which is really fun. Very small presents, a lot of them, like his favorite lollies, and then sprinkled in there is some bigger presents. We spent $302 on treating others, $230 on coffee, probably the highest it's been in a very long time, but we had no budget. And this is why I set a budget, because without that, we are out of control. We spent $450 on travel. That is for, again, for Nick's birthday, just booking a little weekend away. Shopping, we spent $489.97. $14.75 on entertainment. That was for the cinema. Mums and Bubs sessions, so much cheaper than regular sessions, let me tell you. If you have the weekday free and you don't mind crying babies, Mums and Bubs sessions, the tickets are so inexpensive. There was multiple people in that cinema that didn't have a baby with them, but were just happy to put up with the crying. I rate that. That is a great way to see a movie on a budget. Books, we spent $16.99, $100 on hobbies, $78.57 on date night. Still trying to find time for ourselves, obviously with baby in tow. Nothing on alcohol, nothing on the car, and $63 on miscellaneous, which was car parking primarily. For savings, I did set a budget, or like an amount that I wanted to try and set aside. So we wanted to invest at least $500. We ended up investing $920.95, put aside $3,000 in our travel fund, $500 in our home fund, $150 in car expenses. We took $177 from our pet fund, that was for the girls' dog food, $400 into our gift fund, and I think that was everything. So we saved $4,868 this month. For debts, just our normal mortgage payoff, nothing too crazy there. And then we paid off an extra $5,000 because I did have that extra income. While my income is high and I'm trying to make the most of this whole social media bizzo, we're trying to make that money work for us and set ourselves up for a good financial future. And part of that is obviously investing, but also paying off our mortgage as quickly as we can. So our goal this year is to pay off an extra $30,000 on top of our regular repayments if we can. It's so easy to just like spend that extra money that I'd be making, upgrade our lifestyle, get a new car, buy a new house, handbag, all these, like, I don't say materialistic things, but like, you know, things that add to our lifestyle. Again, kind of giving into that lifestyle creep, but I know long term we'll be so thankful that we didn't give into that and that we're actually making that money work for us. And that's not to say that we don't enjoy our life. I mean, we spent $7,000 on like various expenses between like baby, dogs, house stuff, eating out. Like we spent a lot of money in March. So we definitely still live, laugh, loving, but keeping it contained, or as contained as we can. Having a look at our spending overview, 37.7% went towards debt this month, 21.5% in savings, 33.9% on expenses. Generally, I'd like to see this between like 20 to 25%, but we did spend a lot of money on the dogs and Charlie. Also just like eating out, enjoying our maternity leave. 0.6% on subscriptions and 6.3% of our money went towards bills. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. It was a higher spend month than usual, but We kind of knew that. We really lent into not having a budget. But I'm excited to get back into it. I'm excited to actually set parameters for our money, hold ourselves accountable. I feel like it makes a world of difference. So let's bring up April's budget. Oh, this is where it gets really tricky. Nick's income, I have no idea. Guys, I have no idea. I don't know when he gets paid and what he's gonna get paid for. Is he even gonna get a paycheck this month? I actually have no idea. I am going to play it safe and say $2,000. Could be more. Might actually be nothing. I don't know. And then for my business income, I'm expecting about $4,500 after tax. Nothing miscellaneous unless we sell some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. We are also carrying over $4,699.51 from March. I am going to copy and paste over our bills just because those don't really change. I need to double check what our electricity bill is this month. Let's have a look. Oh, $183.36. Gorge. I do feel like one of our insurances has gone up as well. I think it might be our car insurance. I think that's up for renewal. Let me see. Yes, $147.18. Again, gonna copy and paste over subscriptions. We have Spotify, which is $22.99, Netflix, which is $9.99. We pay for the ad or the version with ads. I swear I never see an ad, honestly. It kind of goes through phases. For a while, no ads. Then I feel like I talked about it and I was like, oh yeah, I never get ads. Like, this is such a great hack, only $9.99. And then I suddenly started seeing so many. I feel like it's gone back the other way and I don't really see many anymore. Our mortgage is on a variable interest rate and interest rates have increased here in Australia, which means we have a new mortgage repayment. If you're not from Australia, basically our interest rates are governed by the RBA. They can raise and lower interest rates depending on inflation. Unfortunately, they've gone back up. They went down for a while over the last few years and now they've increased a couple of times, unfortunately. So our new mortgage repayment is I need to make sure I get this in the right spot. Yeah, 1967. And this might change again, I think, because this is from the last interest rate increase, I think. The bank also doesn't have to pass on the interest rate increase to the customers, but they always do. And then this one is 1628.05. I'm gonna leave the extra payment at 0 for now and then we can come back to that if we are able to add any extra on our mortgage. That would be amazing. You guys know I like to do a pay yourself first approach. So making sure that we're covering our bills, check, our debt, or in this case, our mortgage, and then paying into our savings. So paying ourselves and our future selves first. So sorry if you can hear my dogs, crying baby, it's all happening down there. Poor Nicholas. Yeah, we want to pay ourselves first before we budget our money for the fun things. Emergency fund, we don't need anything in there. ETFs, I want to invest at least $500 if we can. Our travel fund is looking pretty good, and with the state of the world, who knows what travel is going to look like, if I'm being honest. So we'll say 500 just so we're making progress. I like to keep that momentum going if we can. Same with our home fund, we have no current home projects in the pipeline, but when we do, we'll have a nice little honeypot to pull from. Car expenses, I always like to set aside $150 every month. Pet fund, we'll put up to $150. Baby fund, I set up for Charlie for like all the baby related purchases. That fund is now depleted. We've pretty much paid for everything baby related, I'd say. Obviously there's gonna be like ongoing costs over the years. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like repurpose this account and maybe have it as his like future savings account or something. For now, we'll just leave that at 0 and then we can talk about investing and saving for children later. I don't know, I'd love to know if you guys have kids, are you investing or saving for your kids and their future? And if you are, like, how are you doing it? I would love to know. I feel like that's a whole other world. I think it's something we'd like to do, but I'm not really sure how we want to go about it. Gift fund, we'll put $400 into. Rainy day fund, I'm going to put at 0, and then business account at 0 as well. For our variable expenses, groceries, we usually like to budget $750, not $705. That was such an exact amount. $750. Petrol, I'm going to say $250, just with how expensive it is. Transport, we are using a lot more, especially with Nick's new job. He's now working in the city, so it makes so much more sense for him to use public transport. So I'm going to put this at, we'll say 100, maybe 150 or 120. Home, we'll say 50. Charlie, what are we gonna spend on Charlie this month? Probably a lot. I said this in my last vlog, but it feels like I'm not spending money when I spend it on my child, and that is something that I really need to get out of the habit because I feel like it's such a slippery slope. But as soon as I go shopping for him, I'm like, money doesn't exist. I dropped like $150 on baby clothes the other day. I would never do that for myself, or I would do it, but I would do it like not begrudgingly, but I would do it with a lot of forethought. I like didn't even bat an eyelid. I was like, oh yeah, this is for my son. Of course I'm gonna buy this for my son. Why do I not have that same mentality for myself? I mean, it's a good thing, it's a great thing, but like, yeah, I need to get better about that. We'll give ourselves 300 for baby McGrath, aka Charlie Boy. Now we have a name for him, or we've always had a name, but obviously I wasn't sharing it. Health, I'm gonna budget 400 between myself and Charlie, our 6-week appointment. Some of that is rebated with Medicare, but some of it's not. Cleaners are always 300. Pets, I know for a fact we're gonna spend at least we'll say 700 honestly on Mabel's specialist appointment. The price you pay to be a dog owner. I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly, and that's a responsibility we took on when we got her. But geez Louise, just a couple of Cocker Spaniel years. Who knew? Who knew they could be such trouble? Eating out, I'm gonna put at 450. Social, I'll also put at 450. Gifts, most of them I've already bought for Nick. Oh, we've also got a wedding. Let's say 500 for gifts. Treating others, we'll go 100. Coffee, I would like to rein in, but I'm gonna keep it realistic and go 150. One of you guys made a really good point. I actually laughed out loud. When you go on a walk, especially postpartum, like you're taking the baby out somewhere, it's like every walk needs a destination. And I feel that so strongly. I feel that in my bones. Where am I gonna go? Oh, I'll go get a coffee. It's a no-brainer. It's like $5. Does that $5 add up a lot over time? Yes, it does. And I've always preached that. It's like all the little expenses. But if that's what's gonna keep me sane in this season, then so be it. I'd rather make room in my budget and actually account for it than like not and be miserable, or overspend and not stick to my budget and feel bad about myself and just be in this like perpetual cycle, overspending and feeling bad about it. Whereas if I budget for it and I actually allocate $150 for coffee for myself and my husband for the month, and we can spend that guilt-free, we will feel so much better about ourselves, and we'll actually stick to our budget, we'll reach our goals, we'll save our money. It's the little things. Okay, travel, nothing on travel this month. Shopping, again, I'm gonna keep it realistic and say 150. Entertainment, we'll go 50. Actually, no, nothing on entertainment. What are we gonna do? Let's be honest, we have a newborn baby. Books, I'll go 30. Hobbies, I'll also put aside 30. Date night, I still wanna prioritize, even if it's at home. We'll set aside 50 for that. And same with alcohol, nothing on the car, and then we'll go 50 for miscellaneous. Cool, so that's 4,880. I fear we may be over budget, yeah. $871.18. That's okay. Not a problem. We're gonna have to find this money from elsewhere. Okay, maybe social we can lower to 300. Gifts, how much do we have in our gift sinking funds? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, so we have $1,400 in our gift sinking fund. So we could actually pull from that. So what I'm gonna do is change this to -500, because we're going to take 500 from that sinking fund. We'll then spend it over here on the gifts category, and that should, yeah, give us $178.82 left over. So I can put this back up to 400. Where is it? Social, 450. Beautiful. Giving us $28.82 left over. Beautiful. And that is why I love sinking funds. And that is how we do it, my friends. I'm feeling good about that. Hopefully this is a more realistic look at a budget. Our total income between us this month is $6,500. Obviously we have a few thousand left over from last month, but a pretty like typical income, I'd say, between two people. I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Thank you guys so much for resetting with me. I feel a little rusty, I'm not gonna lie. Like, was that a good reset? I don't know. I have imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm gonna look back on this and be like, I forgot to budget for that. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video here because I have to go tend to my child. I can hear him crying. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here for this season. I'm so excited for April. I feel like it's gonna be a really good one. Getting back into my Pilates, feeling like myself again. We're getting into autumn, which is like one of my favorite seasons. I love when it cools down. Call me crazy, and I regret it after like a couple months in. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for summer again. There's something about the start of autumn and the start of the cooler weather I love. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this month goes. I'm gonna try and do, that should have been one of my goals actually, maybe a no spend week or like a couple of no spend days, maybe to ease back into it. We could definitely do that and like challenge myself, especially as a postpartum girly, trying to find ways to entertain myself and not spend money. That could be interesting. Maybe we could do a whole series on that. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions, free activities, just like things you like to do, especially if you've just had a baby or you've had a baby in recent years. I feel like there's something about having a baby that just like, I don't know, maybe it's that dopamine here, or I don't know, it's just like trying to find things to do. I'm really lucky that I'm able to balance work and still be a working mother, but also I'm at home a lot and staying home with the baby. I just feel like for my mental health, I need something, but if it can be a free activity, even better. Anyway, I'm gonna skedaddle. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you very, very soon for another video. Bye guys.